Theme 37. Urbanization 1. 1. Benefit. Benefit. Example.
So we want to make sure we offer them very accessible, low time constraints to optimize the training so they can benefit from it.
How would ending corporate welfare benefit the economy here?
2. Compromise. Compromise. Example.
She objected to my presenting the paper as purely hers, and I had to compromise the matter as indicated in the title.
Spending, some people want less spending, some people, so the nature of democracy is compromise.
3. Difficulty. Difficulty. Example.
So there's a difficulty about stopping that activity. And you really have to stop it if you want to be sane.
This often meant a lot of side effects, including headaches, grogginess, and cognitive impairments, including difficulty with memory, thinking, and judgment.
4. Megacity. Megacity. Example.
But these countries are suburbs of Lagos. In a megacity world, countries can be suburbs of cities.
China alone is adding a megacity the size of New York City every 2 years.
5. Obstacle. Obstacle. Example.
Throughout the middle of the story, the screenplay frequently cuts between each character's current obstacle.
And anger is another one of those that's sort of ambivalent, because anger has a goal, right? It's like, remove obstacle.
6. Overpopulation. Overpopulation. Example.
Some historians believe the voyagers moved from place to place to avoid overpopulation.
There are 3 reasons why this is the case. For one, overpopulation is one of the persistent causes of poverty.
7. Adequate. Adequate. Example.
First, the world will need to seek ways to provide adequate food, sanitation, and education for all people.
Another tremendous challenge for Ebola survivors is obtaining adequate health care.
8. Basic. Basic. Example.
The first is that I asked what I thought were really basic questions.
So at the earliest stages of discovery about basic genes, components, and life on this planet.
9. Crowded. Crowded. Example.
Ecosystems were crowded. There was no escape, no opportunity in sight.
So you get these empty village subcenters and crowded hospitals.
10. Address. Address. Example.
So 1 is street name, intersecting street, street, borough, address, building, building, address.
We wanted to come up with technical solutions to address climate change.
11. Poverty. Poverty. Example.
Otherwise, we should call it what it really is. Poverty insurance.
So poverty causes malaria, right? But what we also know now is that malaria itself causes poverty.
12. Resolution. Resolution. Example.
So a system based on our technology could enable dramatically lower cost, higher resolution, and smaller medical imaging.
I want to live in a world where the resolution, there's an ambiguity between things, because that ambiguity allows us to have a conversation.
13. Slum. Slum. Example.
The first Parikrama school started in a slum,
where there are about 70,000 people living below the poverty line.
Leandro is an amazing guy in a slum in Rio, and he created a recycling project in the slum.
14. Urbanization. Urbanization. Example.
The urbanization rate in the United States is about 75% at the moment.
Extinction can happen naturally as the world changes, but it has also been sped up in recent times by human factors such as urbanization and habitat loss.
15. Long-sighted. Long-sighted. Example.
But when the focus point is behind the retina, people are hyperopic or long-sighted.
Set objectives and goals and employ strategies to achieve your vision. Make sure the vision is long-sighted and aim high.
16. Overpriced. Overpriced. Example.
Here I have one of these overpriced EpiPens. Inside it is a drug called epinephrine.
It was worth the 2.5 hours in the heat. It was worth the overpriced coloring book that we already had a copy of.
17. Pressing. Pressing. Example.
I definitely did not have any grand strategy or plan to pursue and find for-profit solutions to addressing pressing public issues.
We've been hearing them today and yesterday and every day for decades. Serious problems, big problems, pressing problems.
18. Compete. Compete. Example.
Olympic athletes had to stay below a certain blood caffeine concentration to compete.
We compete about everything. When my sister finishes homework before me, she usually rubs it in my face.
19. Enhance. Enhance. Example.
There are no animators necessary to come in and interpret behavior or enhance his performance.
I choose to enhance this rolling experience with a simple design element.
20. Million. Million. Example.
And that would translate into 1 million babies' lives saved every single year.
The bones of Dreadnoughtus lay underground for 77 million years.